What's up, YouTube? It's Sydney Island here. That's Island with the Y, not an S. And forgive me, I'm having shortness of breath. I think I'm catching a cold. I have asthma, so forgive me if I feel like I'm just like when I'm talking. Okay, so I want to talk about earth signs. Okay, earth signs are, again, when I talk about all this is just from my own personal research and from what I've seen personally. Start off by saying that I am an earth sign. I'm a Taurus. The earth signs consist of Virgo, Taurus, and Capricorn. And the earth signs are the very stable ones in the zodiac. The earth signs are the ones that like to keep things a lot of the times predictable. And we sometimes don't like change. I would say that I really do like change, but the fact that I have a Taurus sun makes it harder for me to sometimes adapt to change. It really just depends. Since I have a Libra moon, it's not as hard for me to adapt to change as it may be for other Tauruses or other earth signs. It depends on what else is happening in your birth chart. If you're really into it and you really know about it, your moon sign, I can enlighten you all. Your moon sign represents your moods and your emotions. And mine is in Libra. So as far as moods and emotions go, I can kind of be sometimes back and forth and maybe a little bit indecisive. Virgos, I like Virgos. I am very compatible with Virgos. But I will say that Virgos can be very difficult people. Virgos are difficult. They kind of have a tendency to overcomplicate very simple situations. And I'm not saying that I don't do this as a Taurus. Of course I do. But we're talking about Virgos right now. Virgos have a tendency to overanalyze things and kind of, I need to breathe for a minute, y'all. My asthma's not doing it. I needed to become a binaural beat for a minute. I feel like Virgos probably are difficult for themselves to deal with. Virgos think a lot. Virgos are very intelligent people. They, a lot of times, I don't really come across a lot of Virgos who aren't smart in some kind of way. I know I also mentioned this in my If Virgos, well, not If Virgos, what makes Virgos so sexy, that I said that Virgos, Hermione Granger from Harry Potter would be a Virgo. If she was any zodiac sign, she is a Virgo. Virgos are analytical. They always want to get things right. They're perfectionists. Beyonce and Michael Jackson, for example, are Virgos. Also, Keke Palmer, who I am in love with, she's a Virgo. And Virgos are so smart. Like, I love Keke Palmer's brain. She's like 23 now, right? She's like a year older than me. And I'm like, wow, she thinks like she is. Like she's been here, done that. Like as if she's like 50, maybe 60. I don't know. But also notice that Virgos can be very childlike. You know, Virgos can be very youthful at the same time. They're like old kids. They're like little kids with wrinkles and wisdom. I like Virgos. For the most part, Virgos are really, really good people. Virgos have really good hearts. You know, they're so giving and nurturing and caring, and they can be very compassionate and understanding when they want to be. But Virgos can also be extremely stubborn and very judgmental when they want to be. So watch out for that. Overall, I think that Virgos, if I were to rate a zodiac sign from a scale of 1 to 5 on just their overall general greatness, I would rate Virgo a 4.5. In relationships, Virgos are very, I feel like, practical. They're the type of partner that before they leave the house, they're gonna be like, okay, do we have this? Do we have that? Do we have the medicines? Do we have the water bottles? Like if they're about to take a trip to a park, they'd be like, okay, let's get the water bottles. We gotta get this. Do we have that? Do we have this? You know, Virgos can be super duper organized and a lot of times like motherly. What I've noticed, they like to just pack everything and be extra prepared. Virgos will make great party planners. But I've also noticed on the flip end that Virgos are very organized, but also very disorganized. I feel like they always try to keep things organized in their life around them because in their minds, they're very disorganized. That's Virgo for you. Now, let's talk about Tauruses. I'm a Taurus, and I love being a Taurus, okay? Of course, Tauruses have shitty things about them. For starters, the shitty things about Taurus is that Tauruses can be very greedy, overly self-indulgent, and Tauruses can also be like selfish and self-centered. For good reason though. Taurus, we're so great. Oh, I'm just kidding. Tauruses can be kind of misunderstood. I feel like that Tauruses, a lot of people think that we're just this happy-go-lucky, fun, bubbly person, but Tauruses a lot of times have layers to them and are very, very deep thinking people and very, very emotional and very sensitive. Tauruses are very sensitive. And sometimes you do have to be careful about what you say. A Taurus won't necessarily explode right off the bat. Tauruses are very patient. It takes us a while to finally get angry, but once we do, it is terrifying. You might want to, get some armor to protect you from the harsh things that a Taurus might say to you while we're mad. I hate to put Tauruses out like that, but Tauruses are crazy. Like, Tauruses always seem cool, calm, and collected on the outside, but are really crazy on the inside. Like, I've noticed that Tauruses sometimes don't have a filter and will just say whatever comes to mind. And that's me. Sometimes I don't have a filter, and I don't even know that it's like bad. I'm just speaking my mind, and then people get offended or hurt. Tauruses in relationships, well, let's start by saying that Tauruses love relationships. Tauruses are relationship-oriented people, okay? You will come across a Taurus who like, I don't care about relationships. I don't need a man. I'm a strong, independent woman. You will come across Tauruses like that, but they're faking. They're pretending. Tauruses really love to be in relationships. I can't talk for all Tauruses, but Tauruses love to be in relationships. Tauruses love the feeling of being taken and not having to run around searching for this and that person. They just love to be stable and solid and secure within their relationships. Just know that if you get with a Taurus, just know the Tauruses, well, we don't really like to play games, okay? Like, just we like direct, straightforward, honest, all that in relationships. We don't like to play the guessing game. We don't like to have to question what your motives are. We like to just have straightforward, honest conversations. We pretty much like to lay our intentions out on the table right then and there. Like, this is what I like and this is what I don't like. Deal with it. We're kind of like that. That's one thing I really love about being a Taurus, and that's the thing I love about other Tauruses, is the honesty. Tauruses can be super honest and super blunt to a point where it sometimes may hurt your feelings because they're so honest, and the truth hurts. Tauruses are greedy, love food. Tauruses a lot of times are foodies. When a Taurus is sad, give them some food. Good sex, good music. Anything that appeals to the senses will make a Taurus happy, because Tauruses rule the five senses. I have another thought popping in there. Numerology. If anybody's into numerology, everybody has a life path number, which is your birth date and all that added up together. And mine's adds up to the number 5. So I'm a life path number 5. A lot of people are into it. Some people aren't. I'm just enlightening you. And number 5 rules Taurus. Like, Taurus is associated with the life path number 5, because Tauruses rule your senses. Taurus is all about your 5 senses. So Tauruses can be prone to addiction, sex addiction, alcohol addiction, whatever. Tauruses can be prone to those things because Tauruses are really, really like attuned to their body, and Tauruses are very physical. I feel like I'm talking a lot about Tauruses. I don't know if I'll talk more about them. I don't know. I'm just getting it all out. I'm probably going to go back. I'm going to bounce around from Virgo, Capricorn, because it's all about the earth signs. So we're just going to talk about all of them all together. And we're going to do it individually, and then we're going to talk about them as a group. Sorry, I talk so fast. But anyways, Capricorn. I have had a few Capricorn friends, but I wasn't really super close with them. I long to get close to a Capricorn. I really do. I've noticed that Capricorns kind of move from one end of the spectrum. I've noticed that Capricorns can sometimes I've seen some Capricorns be very cold-hearted and maybe a little bit manipulative, bossy, controlling. But I've also seen on the other end of the spectrum, I've seen some very compassionate, empathetic Capricorns who are very sensitive and will get their feelings hurt very easily, and who are just very in tune to the environment and the things around them and what's going on in the world. They're a lot of times very intelligent, deep thinkers. They're very introspective. Capricorns are very introspective. They think a lot about themselves, and I wouldn't say that in a selfish sense. I would just say the Capricorns think about how they come off to people, and they think about always trying to make everybody feel included. They're just, a lot of times Capricorns can be people like social people, and they just want to include everybody. But Capricorns will also have a strong need to be by themselves sometimes, and will retreat. And that is very common amongst all earth signs. We all really have this urge to just go be by ourselves and retreat and just disappear from the world. I don't really know a Capricorn really personally. I've just know what I've seen from friends and acquaintances, and from what I've read and researched, and what I've seen from like celebrity Capricorns, and you know how they move and everything. That's, I'm pretty much just analyze stuff and just kind of give you what I see. You know, this is from my own perspective. Everybody feels differently about the zodiacs depending on what their sign is. I personally feel like that a Capricorn will be a really great friend. Like, I feel like they'll be really loyal. I feel like that would be a friendship that would last for a long time. I feel like that would be a friendship that will last for a lifetime, really. Because Capricorns, I feel like, are just very loyal people, and they care a lot about people. Capricorns are really caring. I've seen that. I've noticed that. Some Capricorns have a bad rep, you know, of being cold, just cold. They have a bad rep, but I've seen some pretty good Capricorns. So anybody watching this video, just know that all Capricorns are not the same. I really don't think that all Capricorns are cold like that. I don't think so. And so, to wrap this up, Virgos, Tauruses, and Capricorns, given if they were to be in a group together, in a trio, that would be great. That would be amazing. I feel like that all of these earth signs have different things that they bring to the table. I feel like that Virgo would bring their amazing intellect, because Virgos are so smart. Virgos would just bring that intelligence. They have a great cerebral. They're really smart. Virgos also have a tendency to be very creative and very talented. A lot of times they're good with art and literature and writing, and Virgos are just really, Michael Jackson's a Virgo, okay? That's all I need to say about that, okay? Very innovative and very talented. And their craft, you know, the way that they operate with their perfectionism and everything. Sometimes for me as a Taurus, I can be perfectionist, but I'm not anything near like a Virgo. Like, I don't think I think Virgo's perfectionism is like the true definition of perfectionism comes from like the Virgo energy. Like, Taurus, we could be perfectionists, but I feel like Taurus is a little bit more lenient, and we feel as though the best art is spontaneous sometimes, and it just comes from your soul. It's not something that you're analyzing and picking apart too much. You're just kind of being. Man, I really went off onto that, but I really like what I was saying there, so let's just keep going. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, if they were to be in like a business group together, I feel like they would get shit done. They all are very productive. Earth signs are workaholics. We're addicted to being busy. We're addicted to productivity. We don't like to just sit and do nothing. It drives us crazy. All of these signs, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, all cannot stand not having something to do within the day. It will drive us crazy. We can't do it. We love to work. We love to be busy. And whether it be, for me, when it comes to work, I don't like not having a job. And it makes me feel very upset. It makes me feel very miserable. So not just that, but also working on my arts and my creativity. I feel like I can't just not be doing something. Like right now, for me, this is doing something because it's for other people. It's something that I want to share with the world. That's earth signs for you. We're very much doers. We get shit done. We're planners and we're doers. But be careful. Earth signs have a tendency to think sometimes, and plan to a point where we may not even get shit done because we're too busy planning it forever and trying to make sure everything's right and being extra careful. But I feel like that we would make great parents. Enough said. That's all I have for y'all for the earth signs. If y'all relate to that, comment below. I relate to that. Check out your birth chart to figure out if you have any more earth in your chart. If you have more earth, the more earth you have, the more stable, the more of a routine, over planning type person you'll be. For me, I have a lot of air in my chart. Air signs are very intellectual and they are logical, very logical. Air signs, and I feel like air signs a lot of times are very social, very excitable. And so that's all I have for y'all. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Again, that's the City Island. That's Island with a Y, not an S. And I hope y'all enjoyed that video. Peace out, homies. I love y'all.